Okay, we are live finally. yeah,
Yeah,
I
sorry for the
think
delay, guys.
I think my viewers are used to me being late, but I know it's unfair. Um, but yeah, what did you think of the movie? I know you had said you hadn't seen it before.
Yeah, I haven't seen it before. I got a chance to watch it yesterday while I was working. It's a pretty interesting film.
Yeah.
It amazes me when you have these British actors like Dan Stevens,
Oh, okay.
and and when they speak in their American accents, it reminds me of when Idris Elba, when he was on The Wire, and
Ah.
everyone first heard him speak, and everyone's so shocked to see what
Uh-huh.
Stinger's a Brit. It's like, but I already knew he was British, so
I
I knew.
didn't.
Yeah, I did. A lot of people didn't know that he was from England, and so when he first,
Uh-huh.
because I remember the show Luther,
Ah.
right before I think he was in that before he got cast as Stringer Bell in The Wire, so
Hmm.
I knew he was English. It's just like I've got the actor who plays House on the TV show House. No one didn't know that he was British, and so
Hmm.
when he spoke in his native language, everyone was shocked to hear that. But I knew he was British too.
Okay.
So it's like, that's why it amazes me when you see an actor like Dan Stevens and
Hmm.
all the movies he's been in, and people are so surprised that he's British,
Hmm.
and the accent in his American accent, especially this accent and this role that he plays here, you couldn't believe that he comes up with a great American accent to fit that particular role. So you really got to give Dan Stevens credit, especially how he plays, how he creates his New York accent.
Mm.
And Abigail, I don't know if you've seen Abigail or not yet, but yeah,
It's
he's
been a long time.
yeah, because it's good as he in this role, he does a better job in Abigail.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I really liked him in this one. I like how it just starts out like a typical film, and then you realize, oh, this guy's not what he seems to be, which
Mm.
to me made it really cool. And I love the soundtrack. I even have it on vinyl. Like that's the only way I collect soundtracks. So I'm super picky about which ones I get because to me vinyl is like, this is like I'm upgrading you. You're special.
Oh yes, yes. As a child of the '70s, most of all the songs I've heard came from vinyl records.
Hmm.
So no, from the all the James Brown albums my mother collected, from all the other songs that my brother and I collected throughout the year. So
Hmm.
it's amazing when you actually see like people of your generation actually get vinyl records, and it's like an amazing. But to me, it's like wow, they're making a comeback.
Yeah. I mean, I know Generation Z love them. Like they're really into it. And I mean, nothing beats that analog sound. Like it just sounds deeper, richer. Like digital cannot duplicate that.
Oh no, no. The only difference is well, unfortunately vinyl when they get warped.
Hmm.
Because one of the things I used to do is like when some of the 45 records my mother had when they got warped. So when the record and the needle's coming up, you hear that
Oh, yeah.
warps. It warps out. It sounds funny. Or
Yeah.
playing a 45 and 78, they sound like the Chipmunks.
Oh, yeah. um, One of my favorite soundtracks, I do not know how to fix it. I know it's possible. I got a scratch on the B side of my Phantasm soundtrack, and I'm like, man, I wish I knew how to, like repair scratches.
Hmm. Yeah, they're very hard to fix.
Hmm.
Once you scratch, you really would have to take because I don't even know they even have uh, record because I think they used to have them back in the
Hmm.
day, but they're very. I know that I don't know if you can actually find anyone that knows how to fix a scratch record
Yeah.
anymore now, as opposed it was very rare back when I was growing up.
Hmm.
So once it was scratched, it was just scratched, and that was
Hmm.
it. Hmm. So you either had to buy a new record, you just had to buy a new record, and then throw out the old one.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I was considering that, but I've seen repair kits like at record shops and they're pricey. And I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I might make it worse.
Yeah, that's very good that you find them, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're very expensive trying to fix a scratch record.
Yeah. And like, I know I was given really bad advice. Somebody said, just play it backwards and that'll fix it. I'm like, no.
No, no. See, remember that movie, The Gate, when he played his record
Oh, yeah.
backwards? Don't think
Um,
I'm gonna play a record backwards anymore. And I want to open up a portal to hell.
yeah. Yeah. I liked that fictitious band that they listened to. I thought that was pretty cool.
Hmm. Yeah, they had some nice, decent songs in the film. I was very surprised about some of the songs that they got in the film. But I think what's her name? I always forget this actress' name. That played the daughter. It was a Malika Munro. I forget her name. I always have a hard time pronouncing her name.
Um, I should know this. I know I wrote a review for it.
Hmm.
Um, it's not clicking right now.
Hmm. What's her name? Malika Monroe. I
Ah,
think.
okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think how
Um,
you pronounce her name. Yeah, she's been in some good movies. Of course, I remember her from the Watchmen. I think this was the name of the movie that she was in. Where she
mhm.
give me a second here. I think she was in that film. I might be mistaking her for somebody else. Oh, was that a sneeze?
No, my older dog was griping at the younger one. The younger one's playing under the blanket, and the grouchy one's like, "Don't touch me."
Yeah, but yeah, she was in that. She was in the horror film It Follows, and she was also in the
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about now.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love her.
yeah. She's been in a lot of good movies. Uh, and and this one, I thought she did a fine job as the daughter in the
Mhm.
film. But like I said before, it's a different type of film. It's more
Mhm.
of a thriller, although it does have some horror elements. And like I
Yes.
said before, I think one of the great things is that you really don't know what his true motives are because
Mhm.
they do it.
No.
I thought the film did a very good job in hiding the fact that obviously he's up to something when you know that he's
Mhm.
up to something, but we don't know
Yeah.
what that is. And at first, he seems like he's helping out the family because
Yeah.
he does some things, even though this despicable things. because because when Luke gets beat up by the bullies, you know all of a sudden that that's going to come back. He's going to kick their ass, and that's what he does. And it does. I said, oh, I got a feeling that that's going to come back," and of course, that's what happens.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I know I just totally loved the film, and same thing. It's just like, and you like you said, you know it's coming, but it's like he comes off as like such a really nice guy.
Hmm.
Um, and then it's like when he does turn, it's like, why am I not surprised? But the stuff he does, it's like, wow.
Hmm. It amazes me because, like I said before, we really don't see movies like The Guest anymore, where
Mm-mm.
we're totally surprised, and you got good at everyone does a good job in their roles, in their roles. You got some surprising moments, even though some parts are a bit cliched, and of course, when we find out what his true motivations are, it's still a bit cliched, but it's still acted very well. Of course, one of my favorite character actors, Lance Guest, who unfortunately
Mm.
passed away earlier this year. He makes his appearance in the film. I thought he did a good job in his role too.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, everybody did great. Like, I really have no complaints about like, well, this character came off as unbelievable, or, I don't like how so and so delivered their lines.
Hmm. Yeah, I I thought that, like I said, there are some cliched moments in the film, especially when we find out, what his true motivations are. I thought the writer was being a bit, probably running out of, didn't come up with a better idea other than, oh, here we go with these secret government motivation things, or trying to come up with the super soldier or this guy's program to do something, you
Hmm.
know. But it still didn't ruin my enjoyment of the film.
No, no, I mean, I loved it. I can't really say I have a favorite scene because I liked the whole movie. And
Mm.
I mean, I'm generally not a person that picks out like favorite scenes unless it's very standout. But I think the whole thing was really good, which is why I'm saying I don't really have a favorite scene. I think the whole movie is just awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, because I remember everyone was talking about how good this movie was, and for some reason I never got a chance to see it.
Hmm.
See it. And then I said, and then when you brought it up, I said, let me this will give me finally a good excuse to watch the film because I didn't get a chance to see it yet. So I was watching and saying, wow, this is pretty good. I'm really impressed by this whole film, which I
Yeah,
watched it earlier.
yeah. I felt like that when Sorry if you heard any noise. I accidentally dropped my phone. No, I mean, I felt that way when I discovered, like, for example, Tank Girl, or when I watched Guns Akimbo for the first time. I'm like, man, this stuff is awesome. I'm like, I wish I had seen it sooner.
Oh yeah, Tank Girls was one of those films where, because I call it very underrated, because
Hmm.
Laurie Stringer does a real good job as a character, and then we had some kooky characters in the film, but for some reason it didn't get the love that it deserves, because it's a very offbeat film. It
Yeah.
doesn't really doesn't have a real plot to the film other than just the zaniness that happens in that particular film.
But yeah, I mean, that's the best part. Like, I forget somebody's getting after her for something, and
Mhm.
she's like, "I'll give you $2.50." And I'm like, where did that come from?
And and Lori Petty, she doesn't get the praise of that she. Oh wow.
Yeah, he's very grumpy, my old dog. He's like 9 years old.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah, she doesn't get the praise that she deserves in that particular film, because she really did a good job in that role.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like her. Like, I didn't know who she was as a kid, so growing up, I watched Free Willy a lot. So
Hmm.
when I watched Tank Girl for the first time, I mean, obviously already as an adult, and I'm like, hey, it's Free Willy girl.
Because I thought, because she was in the original Point Blank role.
Mm,
She was the one that eventually helped Kenyon Reeves how to surf in the film, because he didn't know how to surf, so she taught him how to surf.
yeah, I forgot
And
about that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, she's done some pretty good roles, and I thought she's a pretty good actress. But like I
Hmm.
said, but when she did Tanker, I said, wow, this could be her coming up party. But unfortunately, the film
Mm-mm.
just was underrated. Just some
I'm
people did not watch the film.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's built a cult following over the years,
Oh
and
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I never read any of the graphic novels, but
no,
no.
no,
I
yeah,
did like
no.
that kangaroo guy, which I mean, I can't say anything about him. Like, he actually does this in the books or whatever. Marty would probably be the guy to ask.
Oh yeah, he was the first person thought about too, because Marty probably really knows more about the graphic novels and the comic book about Tank Girl, because I didn't know it was based upon anything until I read more into it, and I said, "Oh, okay, I didn't know it was a comic book."
Hmm.
Pretty sure Marty would know everything about Tank Girl. I had to ask him about that.
Yeah.
When we do our live stream on Tuesday.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Instead of just talking about, since Sunday's Mother's Day, instead of just talking about mothers and mothers
Hmm.
killers, that we've done that before, we're going to do female killers,
Oh,
femme
okay.
fatales, all the deadliest females that have been on the screen. That's going to.
Yeah. Stop that. Um, Yeah, I remember years ago, just because I was trying to do something different. I had a Mother's Day like giveaway contest,
Mhm.
but I extended it to where you could also nominate men, because the contest was name your favorite MFer.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're probably going to have some good times. I got one of my other friends that I did the um, Women in Horror, Rose from Insomniac Writer. She's going to be a guest on our show, so she's going to love that one.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend like Mother's Boy with Jamie Lee Curtis, or The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That one's pretty classic. Or
Hmm.
there's the weird suggestion, which is Jaws 4, The Battle of the Mothers.
Oh man, my good friends Jason and Joe, they actually did a positive spin on Jaws: The Revenge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then like I said before, I give them credit, because as much as people hated that film, and like I said before, I understand why people say that, and there are some good aspects of the film. Unfortunately, the like, oh boy, like there's one scene where what's his name? Darn it, why one of the problems getting gold, get people's names.
Oh yeah, I forget names a lot. I'm better with faces.
uh
I'll just say like, oh, that's the person from such and such, like Free
Michael
Willy
Caine,
girl.
when Michael Caine character, he's in the helicopter. The
Hmm.
sharks gets him and brings him in the water. Next thing you know, he comes out and he's fully dry. He's supposed to be soaking wet.
I'm too good for seawater.
He's supposed to be soaking wet, but he's fully dry. Comes out because I'm pretty sure they somebody must have forgotten while they
Hmm.
were filming that he's supposed to be wet. He's like he's in the ocean. He's supposed to be soaking wet. When the next thing you know, they pull him up, and he's dry as a kite. And I remember watching I think someone did a review about that as one of the things about that didn't make sense about the film. It said, how's this guy totally dry and he just got in the ocean in the water when the helicopter came down?
Hmm.
And of course, one of the most famous scenes is when the sun electrocutes the shark and the shark jumps out in the water and you hear this roar.
Oh,
Sharks sharks have no vocal cords, so they
no.
can't roar.
um, oh, that was my complaint about Deep Blue Sea is
Mhm.
sharks don't have a swim bladder, so there's no like biological reason why they would be able to swim backward. And they're like, "Your sharks have advanced. He's super shark. He's smart." I'm like, no, that's not even possible.
Just like the girl said, sharks don't swim backwards.
Yes, they just biologically they can't. So it's
Mhm.
I'm not buying this. Like he's so smart, he learned how to swim backward.
That's the one good thing I liked about this movie. The guests they don't try to insult the viewer's intelligence because
Hmm.
I know sometimes in movies you have to suspend your disbelief in some of the things that happen, but at least this particular film did not.
Uh-huh.
Everything was quite reasonable, and you can believe what was happening in the film.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said before, it's a shame that unfortunately that the parents realized too late what
Oh
it is.
yeah.
But then again, in today's world, if if I had a if I had a son that unfortunately was killed in Afghanistan, and a friend of his who I didn't know all of a sudden
Uh,
comes up and
hmm.
tells me, "Hey, I was with your son," I'm not going to invite him in. I don't know who you. I'm not going to invite you in. No matter how much I may miss his son, I might go to dinner with him. I might spend some
Hmm.
time with him, but I'm not going to invite him into my house because I don't know who you
Um,
are.
I think that's more like a 70s thing. I can see that happening
Yeah.
like during an earlier time when there was less communication.
Hmm. Because that's the only thing I felt that was a little bit, but no understanding her grief, and we don't know how soon the son had died at the time, and she was
Hmm.
understanding grief, and to finally have that connection with her son, I guess it's the reason why she went on ahead and invite him
Hmm.
in, that allowed him to stay. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you would consider it like not believable, but if I remember correctly, nobody bothered to research like who is this guy, what's his background,
Hmm. Yeah, it
and
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't until after the murder started happening that Anna decided to, you know what, we need to take a look at this guy because something's not right about him.
hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, but a little bit too late.
Yeah, yeah. There was another scene in the film when the her one of her friends and her unfortunately her ex boyfriend who was beating her up,
Hmm.
comes there, and then all of a sudden he saves her, and then she winds up having sex with him. I'm like, I don't think that's not something you want.
Gratitude sex. Like I can't afford to take you to dinner, but here.
It's like, okay, I understand that, but I don't think, yeah, that was a little bit. But then again, you never know what someone who is, when a woman is saved by uh, a person from
Hmm.
someone who's beating them up, and I guess she felt real gratitude. She just decided to give herself to him.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just gonna go there. He's not Frank Langella's Dracula. You're not sexy.
you know, I don't. I guess maybe she found him, attractive or something like that, and the fact that
Hmm.
he was able, she did what he did to him. I guess she felt obligated. I don't know.
Yeah. Women's well, I shouldn't say women because that's insulting, but like
Mm,
people in general, like it depends on your background. But some people's psychology is very strange.
hmm. Tell me about it.
Yeah. I don't think they really gave a supporting reason other than we need to have a little bit of skin in this movie.
I guess that's another reason why. Reason why, because it's like, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Hmm.
Expecting that, but hey, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I think the movie was strong enough where, even though it's a basic plot, but I think the movie was strong enough where we didn't need the sex scene.
No, no, that's why I'm saying and saying, where did this come from? And we really didn't need that in that
Mm-mm.
particular film. You know, it's not like this is a slasher film where we have to have sex in the film. But for
Yeah.
some reason, I guess the writer felt as though we needed to have this particular scene. But there's a different way where you can have that have that gratitude without her having to have sex, because to me it kind of demeans her character.
Hmm.
You know, just because he saved, a woman shouldn't feel as though that she has to you know do that in order to thank the man. That kind of
Yeah.
degrades what the woman's role, because she's already suffering. The last she
Hmm.
needs to do is to have sex with a stranger.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't speak too highly of her.
Hmm.
Kind of like an outdated way of thinking, like kind of like those sword and sorcery films from the 70s. Like, I saved you. You're obligated.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, because that actually happened on one of the sword and sorcery films I saw back in the day, where he saved the woman, and for some
Hmm.
reason, all of a sudden, let's have sex. I say,
Yes.
why? That doesn't make any sense to me. Just because you saved the woman, then it's like. But then again, I guess that's how it is. It's sort of like I don't know if you ever saw the Game of Thrones show.
I
You know,
haven't yet.
yeah, no, I never saw it too, but I know there was a lot of sex going on in
Hmm.
that particular film, and some of the scenes that I saw, the main character, in order to win this army, because they used to be the rulers, he gave his sister to this barbarian clan, and I guess one of the things she had to do was have sex with the
Mm.
king of this barbarian clan. I'm like, wow, that's oh well, what are you going to do?
Like, that's very Mad Men. Like, I forget
Hmm.
the redhead's name, but they're like, if you have sex with this guy, we'll make you a partner.
Hmm. You
I mean,
know,
I don't know if you ever saw that one, but I loved that show.
what show was this?
Mad Men?
Oh man, oh yeah, I never saw that. No.
Oh,
I
okay.
never, I never saw that show. The show did not interest me. I mean, it
Oh,
was,
okay.
yeah, it was. I guess because it was interesting, because back in the '50s, and
Hmm.
at the time it was all, everything was geared towards men. Although you did see some of the women in that particular film, starting. You can see some of the rise of women in that particular film. I think
Hmm.
Elizabeth Moss character is one of the women that
Yes.
actually uh, decides to go about her own, and she does some interesting stuff in that particular film. It's what I think that's what I remember in that particular series, but I never saw it though.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it even the concept was very throwback about these guys are, like big shots from an advertising agency, and I think Darren from Bewitched, like he was in advertising.
Hmm.
I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe I'm just reaching.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty interesting. Yeah, but yeah, I never got into Mad Men and Mad Men, but I just know that it was a very successful show
Hmm.
about how, seeing how, how the corporate world was back during the '50s, what I
Yeah.
normally I would call the good old boys.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what.
Even though, I mean, that's even the same thing, like, the good old days, and I'm like, was it ever good? Like, whatever. What about, like, what do you call them? The bootleggers for the alcohol, and I'm like, there were
Hmm.
these big gangs and stuff.
Hmm.
So no, I mean, they really weren't good old days. It's just a picture that media painted.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what that it looks like. That's what they want to go back to. I mean, that's that's why you see all the cosplay of the Handmaid's Tales of what's
Mm,
happening right now. So
hmm.
like everyone wants to go back to those days. And like, no, nobody wants to go back to the '50s. No.
Well, I mean, I mean, I'm not political, but that's very Donald Trump, like, make
Hmm.
America great again. I'm like, really?
No, trust me, there was nothing great during the 50s. Maybe for them, but certainly not for anyone else.
Mm. Yeah, Horror Cat Dad says Mad Men was cool, but I haven't finished it yet. The ending episode is a little bit weird. I don't know how far along you are, so I won't spoil anything, but I think it has a weird ending. Like it just feels like they left it hanging.
Yeah,
Oh,
Handmaid's yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, that is a very rough show, very rough show. But yeah,
Is
really
that the
got to
one? Sorry, I don't
that.
mean to keep interrupting.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one where it's a dystopian society where this group there's like the second American Civil War, and this country gets taken over. Half of the country gets taken over by this group called Gaylid, if I'm not pronouncing this right, and they actually forced women to have this because of the what do you call it? Women. I think the fertility rate is down low,
Hmm.
and this is after the Second World War. This group of, I guess, highly conservative idiots. They just they decided to create this country called Galip, where they actually force women called handmaids' tales to
Hmm.
actually have sex with these men, so that way they can get pregnant because half the women can't have babies anymore. So they
Oh,
force
okay.
them to have babies. Yeah, like I
I
said,
I
yeah,
don't know. Hopefully they had somebody with a brain, and it's like, you know what? I don't really like kids. I'm just gonna throw myself down the stairs.
yeah, it's an interesting concept. And Elizabeth Moss, she's also in this one as well. And
Hmm.
it goes around, how they is, I know what they go through, some of the stuff they have to do to try to escape, and what happens when they do escape, and some of the stuff. Excuse me, excuse me, and some of the stuff that happens, to the people that were in charge.
Hmm.
In charge. Yeah, it's a very weird interpretation of something like that possibly could happen.
Hmm.
Happen.
Is it? I mean, it seems to have elements. I haven't seen it yet, but like, is it like a cult?
Not like a cult, more like a belief system.
Mm,
At least it wouldn't surprise me if that particular type of society probably started out as a cult and then eventually became a belief system, which unfortunately led to a second American World War. And they won it, and they annexed half of the country, where they now become is now known as Gaelic
hmm.
instead of just the United States of America. And the rules that they have are crazy,
Okay.
crazy. Yes.
Hmm.
I only watched a few episodes of it, of The Handmaid's Tale. But yeah. So if you ever see women cosplay on that, that's only because of it's only because of that show.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. That one sounds like it's worth checking out. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, sounds like something I'd be interested in.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to
Um,
see.
Elizabeth Moss was also in High Rise, but Tom Hiddleston, that's the main reason I watched it. Have you ever seen that one? That's a really good film where, I mean, it goes chaotic. I know I'm totally getting off topic.
Yeah, oh
Sorry.
yeah, that's okay. That's what we normally do on these live streams. I
Hmm.
never saw High Rise. Uh, I never saw High Rise. Actually, the first time I heard of it. Yeah, yeah, Hardcat there. Yeah, it's a good show, but it's definitely tough to watch. It's definitely
Ew.
tough to
Okay.
watch. Yeah, because it's like, wow, you really feel sorry for Elizabeth Moss's character for some of the stuff that she goes through in this show. But then you start
Um,
cheering for her once she starts to fight back.
it kind of sounds like it would be, I don't know if they've covered it yet, but it sounds like it would be a good episode for spooky astronauts and
Oh
oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you talking
does
about her, Vicky? Yeah, her, yes, but yeah,
yes.
yeah, Emma and Vicky. Yeah, does this offend you? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't even know if they actually covered that yet.
Hmm.
I have to ask him. I'll reach out to them and see if they ever covered the Handmaid's Tale. Handmaid's Tale,
Yeah.
'cause that's something that I would like to see them talk about on their Does This Offend You? Because they've talked about a variety of subjects.
Hmm.
Yeah.
A really weird one. I don't know if they do non-horror, but I think Ladybugs might also be a good one for them to do.
Hmm. What if I remember Ladybugs? I hope I'm not confusing that with Yellow Jackets.
No, it's Rodney Dangerfield and
Oh,
Jonathan Brandis.
oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember this one. This one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I was watching that movie a couple of years ago, and not that I claim woke culture, but I was watching it and I'm like, I think modern day people would think this or this.
I believe so.
Yeah. I'm not going to go further into that because that's just opening a can of worms.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah, that would open up a can of worms. Yeah. Yeah. Because, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because that would definitely open it. Knowing what I remember about that particular film. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
But I love how it's just so innocent back then because we didn't think a certain way and it was just funny. Like
Oh
people
yeah.
enjoyed a film for what it was.
Hmm. Yeah, I think people have become either too serious or too sensitive at this in this day and age.
Yeah, I would say sensitive. Like it's really weird. Like I'm called an in-betweener. Like I'm in between millennials and Generation X. Like I was just born within that divide.
Mm.
And I've heard the complaint people don't like the fact that when we respond to like a text message or a DM or something, we use the thumbs up. Like they consider that offensive. Like you couldn't take the time to respond to me, and I'm like, really?
And you lucky I did respond.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm in between I guess you could say one of the last of the baby boomers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, baby boomers, because I was born in '63, is in between the baby boomers and I guess you say Generation X.
Hmm.
In between that and that focal point right there, but I always consider myself a baby boomer because, and look, I was raised in the '70s, so that's where I came from. So I
Hmm.
say, you want to talk about the old days? Trust me, half these people wouldn't even be able to survive during that time period because I think it was somebody on Twitter said something, named something that I say Generation Z would not be able to do. I So
Oh,
yeah, how about getting up having to turn the channel, or even better yet, having to get up and mess with the TV antenna to get a clear picture.
go a day without internet.
Yeah, oh, yeah, go a day without internet.
Oh, my favorite one. I've heard of people having trouble with this, not knowing how to use a rotary phone.
Oh yeah. I said, yeah, how about having to deal with a corded phone when the cord gets all wrapped up and you're
Oh,
trying to and you have to stretch it out and you can't because the cord's all messed up.
it gets worse.
Oh man, the good old days.
Uh-oh. No, yeah, I would agree. Like growing up and as a kid playing outside instead of being inside all day watching TV or playing video games, which I have nothing against. Like, I don't consider myself a gamer, but I do play games from time to time.
Hmm. Yeah, I've always been a gamer since the good old Pong, and then
Ooh,
Atari 2600, the 5200, the 7800, ColecoVision, Mattel, and Television. I think I played them all.
I forget what it's called. I wasn't into video games yet. Like I picked up from the original Nintendo, but wasn't there one called Geo something?
I think it was Geo something. It didn't hit the market, as I'm trying to think.
Like, I think it was a portable.
It might have been a portable game. Probably before Nintendo came out, there was some type of little portable game
Hmm.
because the only portable games that used to come out before Nintendo Game Boy came out was the Mattel electronic football portable game. That
Oh, like Tiger.
I don't think it was called Tiger. I know there was two of them. It was called Mattel Electronic Football. That was a portable game, and then there came another one where you can actually because the only thing you can do in that one is run the football. But
Mm.
then there's came this other electronic football game where you actually pass the football. And but
Oh,
I can't
okay.
remember. I can't remember though. Those were the last two portable games I remember before um, Game Boy came out. But that was after Nintendo hit the market. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
okay.
Tiger Electrics. There you go. Thanks, Harcat. That.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to remember.
hmm
Like they were very simple games, and I think like they only had three stages.
hmm Stages, yeah, yeah. Because I remember when that first hit the market, that was very big.
Hmm.
And then the next came that because I remember a friend of mine, he was the first one I saw that actually had a better version of electronic football where you can actually pass the football, and that was pretty interesting. And of course, me and my brother begged our mother to get that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. So I basically play almost all of the console games. Starting
Hmm.
back from Pong and then to Atari 2600 all the way up until now. You know, video games on my computer.
Yeah. I was one of those people. I missed a lot of stuff, so I skipped from the original Nintendo to a PS3, which I now regret having gotten, sold it.
Mm.
Especially Ninja Gaiden. Like I played the first three and I loved those, and then going back and relearning, oh, Ninja Gaiden's from back in the original Nintendo days, and I'm like, I missed that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. I played that one too. I love Ninja Gaiden. That was good.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that one. Or the spin-off Dead or Alive.
hmm yeah, yeah. So yeah, King. Yeah, not to get off topic yet, but Kingdom of the
Sorry.
Planet. Yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It was pretty good. It wasn't great.
Hmm.
I'm a big Castlevania. Oh yeah.
I
So
haven't
am I.
played any of those.
You ever play Castlevania?
I
I,
love the music, but I have never played one.
yeah, I think I played almost all the Castlevania games because when we got the was it game? Yeah, was it? I think it was Game Boy. It might have been something else.
Hmm.
Can't remember. It was another portable game that I had. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, but I play. Yeah, I played all the Castlevania games.
Hmm.
The games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I didn't play any of those, and it's like just jumping back really quick. Like the only like portable like handheld that I've ever owned is the 3DS.
yeah. I guess I have the 3DS. It's sitting somewhere over there near the TV. The 3D TV. Yes, I've played. Let's see. I played the Minish Cap because I'm a huge Zelda fan. Because
Oh, okay.
I played almost all the Zelda games. Because I have the Zelda game, which was a link between worlds,
Oh,
and
okay.
Ocarina of Time. So I have those two Zelda games on my 3DS.
Yeah, I know people love Ocarina. I've heard so much about it.
Oh yeah, everyone considers that one of the greatest Zelda games of all. But I think Twilight Princess to me is perhaps one of the best Zelda games because it's a little darker version
Hmm.
of Zelda than opposed to any of the Zelda games I played before. So I would consider Twilight Princess
Hmm.
perhaps one of the best Zelda games. Not Ocarina of Time is good, but to
Uh-huh.
me it's just Zelda Twilight Princess. I never can get enough playing Zelda.
Um, the only other Zelda game I'm familiar with, I don't know if it's a good one, Spirit Tracks.
I haven't played that one. That's because it's like there's two types of versions of Zelda. It's I don't know. Link to the Past is pretty good. Oh yeah, everyone loves Link to the Past. You can't get enough of Link to the Past. But yeah, as much as I enjoyed that one Hard Cat, that Twilight Princess is still very good for me. Like I said,
Hmm.
because it's a very first Zelda game I see get real dark.
Hmm.
Getting real dark because like I said, most of the Zelda games are very light. Like you either have the adult version of Link in some of the games, or you have the kid version of Link. And Spirit Tracks is the kid version of Link, and
Hmm.
that's okay.
Hmm.
hmm
Yeah, I mean, I just really don't know too much about Zelda, like other than the cartoon. Yeah, I'm totally being honest when I'm saying I'm not much of a gamer. I'm basically a newbie.
he said, I think that one has a dark, dark pink, right?
Dark Link.
Oh, dark link. Um, you're talking about Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. That one has a dark link in it, and because that's the final boss in Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. That has a dark link because once you get, because at the end of the day you fight the dark link, but that's really not the concept. What I'm talking about is not about that. It's just that the whole concept of Twilight Princess is that it's very dark, mainly because it deals with the light and the dark worlds. With Midna and her darkness and Zant, and you probably see the first real true uh, evilness of Ganon or Ganondorf as Twilight Princess.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that in your.
Yeah, that's
I
okay.
have a bad habit of doing that when I'm thinking, or I'll snap my fingers. Yeah, I know we totally flew way off topic. Me and Sasha do that a lot too. So I mean, I'm totally cool with it.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure that yeah, because most of the time that's what we do on our live stream. Sometimes we get off topic,
Hmm.
but that's what you do because we both enjoy films. We both enjoy horror films. We enjoy films like The Guest. So we're always
Yeah,
going to go off tangent and go on other types of subject that we do. Yes.
yeah, yeah. I know I had. I definitely want to get Knight on the show again. We talked Guns Akimbo and what else? Oh, Shoot 'em Up.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that pulpy stuff. And
I know. I've been trying my damnedest to get Knight to come on to the horror hangout live stream because I know he
mhm.
would enjoy it. But because of his schedule, it's kind of difficult. The way his
um,
schedule is.
yeah, I mean, not that I'm trying to volunteer him, but I know because the times I've had him on, he's usually free on Sundays.
Hmm.
I think 5 o'clock Eastern. I know
Mm.
I'm like, I'm not trying to dox him or anything.
Oh no, me and Knight, we've been cool. We've been. I remember when I first saw his first channel,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was able to get him and Mark on together. And we were talking about
Hmm.
the Justice League, and talking about the Justice League and the difference between the Justice League and the Justice League.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's Joss Whedon. You know,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they people like that call it the Justice League
Oh, I
because
didn't know about that.
yeah, because when Zack Snyder first wrote the Justice League, and then he got in all that trouble, and they fired him, and they got Josh Whedon to finish up his particular version. That's why they call that particular version of Justice League the Justice League, as opposed to Zack Snyder's. When Zack Snyder's his version of the Justice League came out on HBO Max,
Hmm.
that's when we were talking about it. Yeah, the Whedon cut was yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, his career just went down the tubes after that craziness came out of how he used to treat people on set. And I like Joss Whedon too. I thought he had a good career, but until all that craziness came out about
Yes.
how he treated people on set, and especially the ladies, it's
Hmm.
like, oh, you're done.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to judge him. Like, I still like all of his old stuff, but I'm not going to seek out anything that's new.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'll always appreciate what he did with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and some of the characters he created. I always appreciate the stuff that he did, but unfortunately now, yeah, we get
Yes.
the weed cut was fast. Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking as far as when he came on board and some of the stuff he changed as opposed to what we saw in the Zack Snyder cut.
Hmm.
But he definitely made a mockery of it, especially in that third act. It's nothing but a bunch of CD trash.
Hmm.
CD trash. He took away some of the great elements of that particular film. Yeah, Firefly was awesome.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
You talking about Firefly or Serenity? Yeah, because Firefly was a pretty good show. I thought it was a great concept, and of course, the movie Serenity was supposed to be the final was supposed to be end because the show got canceled one season. Yeah, in the
Hmm.
first Avengers film, yeah, I thought he did a good job in the first Avengers film. And like I said, Firefly was awesome, but I don't know what happened after what he was doing with Justice League.
Yeah. No, I never saw that.
Hmm.
Firefly, I mean.
Oh yeah, it's um, was it Nathan Fillion? It was sort of like how can I put this? Maybe Hardcat Dad can combine the shows like Gunsmoke, like a Western show, and I'm trying to find the right analogy for a sci-fi. But it's like sort of like a Western show, and it's like sort of like a Western show in science
Lost in
fiction.
Space.
Yeah, you could put it there because I don't want to say because a lot of people like almost like how Star Trek was Wagon Train meets
Mm-hmm.
science fiction. Yeah, so yeah, Western sci-fi. This is the
Yeah,
best way.
like
It's the best way to combine what Firefly was.
Westworld.
Hmm. Yeah, the original Westworld with Yul
Yes.
Brenner.
No, I haven't seen. Oh, I love Earl Brenner.
You never
I
saw West?
haven't.
You ever saw the
I
original Westworld?
Yes, I actually own it. I was going to say I never watched the TV show.
No, I haven't did the one on HBO.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it neither because from what I understand, it's very confusing. It's so confusing.
Um,
Even watching recaps, I still can't really understand what the hell is happening. No, no, this guy's real. No, no, he's a robot. No, 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 he's real. No, she's a robot. No,
that's like Blade Runner and all the different cuts. Like, yeah,
uh,
he's actually a replicant. And I'm like, no, he's not. Well, over here he is. I'm like, shut up and give me
yeah,
the theatrical cut.
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Young Guns meets Han Solo. Yeah, I like that
Mm,
analogy. Yeah.
that's a good one. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like a neo western.
Hmm.
Um, totally went blank on the one that I was going to mention. But to get back to an earlier thought, I mean, not that I'm picking on her, but like basically anything that Evan Wood has been in, I try to avoid. I just, for some reason, she rubs me the wrong way.
Who's not a Republican?
Oh gosh,
Oh, he's
replicant.
a replicant. I was
Yeah,
about to
I
say,
think autocorrect got you. I think.
yeah, yeah, because that was another thing with Blade Runner. Whether you're watching the original version or the theatrical cut or whatever cut you're watching, and say, "Wait a minute, I thought he was human. No, he's a replicant. No, no,
Hmm.
he's." It's like it's like Westworld HBO. It's like you don't know who's artificial or who's real.
Yeah, I mean, I love the theatrical cut. Like director's cut is almost the same, but what I hate is that they cut out that soliloquy at the end with I'm gonna hate myself. I don't remember the guy's name. Um, right at
With
the
the
end, he's the last replicant that dies.
oh, and Blade Runner.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, darn it.
I love his movies. I just can't remember his name.
Oh, darn it. Now I know you're talking about. Now his name escapes my tongue because I know
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
talking.
I know he's like a.
No, not
It's like
him.
what people in the back in the old days would refer to as a towhead, like very very blonde.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not. It's not. Yeah, are you talking about the character or the act?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah. Rutger Hauer. Yeah,
Rutger
that's
Hauer.
yes.
Yes, I love his movies. Like,
Yeah.
I've even seen his foreign films just because he's in it. Like, kind of like the Danny Trejo. Like, you'll watch it just because he's in it,
Yep.
even if
Although,
it's bad.
yeah, I thought I think he was only the. I think he was only really good thing in the Salem's Lot remake.
Hmm. I have nothing against Rob Lowe. He's easy on the eyes.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, honest reason why I watched it. I really wasn't interested.
I guess when I saw it,
Ooh, huge Blade Runner fan. I need to have you on the show to discuss that one if you're interested.
yeah, y'all
Sorry, I
probably
didn't
have
mean
good.
to. I didn't
Yeah,
mean to
that's okay.
interrupt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for some reason I could never get into Blade Runner. I don't know why. And
Hmm.
I'm a huge sci-fi guy, but for some reason I just couldn't get into Blade Runner. I don't know why.
Ooh.
Maybe because of I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that because of the plot, but for some reason I just could not get into Blade Runner.
Um, like totally off topic, but I wanted to ask you also, just because I know martial arts films were big in the 70s. Like,
Oh yeah.
would you be interested in maybe a future show discussing the flying guillotine?
Oh yeah.
That one is so much fun.
Oh man, it amazes me when you talk about martial arts film and when Enter the Dragon first came out, and
Yes.
I remember me and my friends going to see it at the old Milgram Theater here in Philadelphia,
Hmm.
and the kung fu craziness that went out after that film came out, and everyone. And this was funny because all of a sudden, everyone thought they knew how to use nunchucks.
Hmm. Oh, no. They're a lot harder than you think.
Yeah, and so everyone all of a sudden, almost all the kids in my neighborhood thought they were Bruce Lee. So they either would buy nunchucks or they try to create nunchucks and
Hmm.
try to beat Bruce Lee with nunchucks. And unfortunately, had these nitwits would hit themselves in the head,
Yes, I
and
can
that
definitely
thing,
see
and it's
that.
like, dude, what are you doing? You don't know how to use those things.
And
No.
they're heavy too.
Yes. Yeah, like this. You actually have to learn how to practice to do that stuff. And then, yeah, it looks cool seeing Bruce Lee
Yes.
with this. Obviously, just
Super
sound
cool.
effects. Yeah, just sound effects.
Hmm.
Going back and doing that and doing all that, and then singing up, and then and he does a while, and he's got the nunchuck under his arms like that. That takes skill. You can't just pretend. It's like this. It just went huge crazy with the kung fu nonsense that took place after that film come out. But yeah, we could
Hmm.
talk about that at another time. So I don't want to
Yeah.
give away too much because I have some great stories about that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I love Bruce Lee films. I even went as far back as watching like his first films where he started with his dad, the old black and white ones when he was
Hmm.
still a child actor.
Uh-huh.
I cannot remember the name of that
Yeah, I
movie.
can't remember the name neither because I remember because after that film came out, then all of a sudden, the Shawn brothers started releasing all the other films he had starred in
Hmm.
uh, prior to Enter the Dragon came out
Yeah,
because
like
then
the sorry.
whether it was the Green Hornet.
Hmm.
I forgot some of the other films that he did prior to the Enter the Dragon came out because he was a huge international. He was a huge star in China.
Hmm. Hmm.
In China, and all of a sudden, when the Enter the Dragon came out, which was I think was the first American film he made,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden, next thing you know, we've seen all these not just Bruce Lee films, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you had Kung Fu Theater appearing on either the UHF channels here in Philadelphia, and then everyone just went Kung Fu crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I
then
can
of
see
course
that.
then we got the song Kung Fu Fighting.
Yes. And it's such a fun film song.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh.
those cats were as fast as lightning.
Yep.
In fact, it was a little bit frightening. I need to
Yeah.
stop.
Oh man, yeah, but yeah, that was the stories I'll tell you when we do that one about some of the
Hmm.
stuff that people were trying to do. It's like, oh God, please, guys,
Hmm.
stop! You're gonna break. It's like, and of course, they hurt themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, my brother before me, I don't want to say my younger brother because he's older than I am,
Hmm.
but he is very into karate. And when he was practicing, he had the styrofoam nunchucks for that same reason.
Hmm. Yeah, because if you're going to learn to use nunchucks, you got to at least know how to do the move. So you use the styrofoam so you don't hurt yourself before you actually
Hmm.
use the real nunchucks before you hurt yourself.
Yes.
That was a huge problem with these people, and and then unfortunately, people got in the fights, and next, somebody got the nunchucks, and you can really hurt somebody with those things.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, he would make his own stuff to practice with too. Like, um, lost my train of thought. I forget what that long sword is. Is katana?
Yeah, katana.
Yeah, I mean he made his own out of wood to practice with also.
Hmm.
But yeah, very into Asian culture. Like he also dried out bamboo and he made a bamboo flute.
Hmm?
So I can definitely respect that. I think I'm more into Japanese culture, like sushi, sumo,
Mm,
all of that stuff. I love the tea ceremonies.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, totally got off topic there. Sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Well, it is time for me to have dinner because I'm
Okay.
hungry.
It's a good stopping point for me too. I haven't had anything to eat since lunch.
Mm, okay. Well, I
So
appreciate you bringing me on, Kara.
yeah, absolutely. I love having you on. I would definitely love to chit chat with you more regularly, like have you on
Oh
the show
yeah.
if you have the time.
Oh yeah, yeah, yes. Normally, I'm normally available during the week and weekend after 7 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, I'm weekends are easier for me too, so that works perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Horror Cat Dad.
Yes. Yeah, definitely loved the conversation with you as well.
Mhm.
Just really quick, do you have any shows you want to plug before we say goodnight?
Right now I have I just reviewed darn it, I lost my train of thought. I just reviewed Something's in the Water and
Okay.
Arcadian. Those are the latest videos I have on my channel, and I should have my review of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes should be up by Monday.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that one out.
Okay.
Oh, have a good rest of your day and weekend. Sorry, my dog ate my glasses. It's a little hard for me to read right now.
Okay. And tell your mother I said Happy Mommy's Day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll definitely let her know.
Okay.
And if I'm not overstepping, happy Mother's Day to your wife and your family as well.
All right. I'll let her know.
Alrighty.
Mm.
But yeah, um, as usual, that's all we have for you guys today, and we will talk to you later. Good night.
And always remember horror rules. All
Sweet.
right. All right, Kara. Stay safe out there.
All right, you too. And thank you for coming on and have a good night.
Mm-hmm. Peace.